Hello. I'm John Hillerman. Somewhere in a safety deposit box, much like these behind me, is $100,000. Given a bit of skill, knowledge, and deduction, and a reasonable amount of help from me, this money can be yours. Welcome to Money Hunt. For the next 30 minutes, we hope to entertain you with a story in which you, the audience, can struggle along with our hero. If you find the clues, and you are the only person to solve the puzzle, the $100,000 is yours. If there is a tie, and more than one of you gets the correct answer, all of you successful puzzlers will be given a further mystery to solve, and the winner of that tiebreaker wins all of the money. But first, there are a few things you should know. All of the clues are logically connected. There is no luck or chance involved. To solve all of the clues, you will undoubtedly have to consult an almanac, an atlas, and so on. But the answer is equally available to everyone. Needless to say, we have thrown in some amusing red herrings. What you will be looking for is a region somewhere in the world, a city within that region, and a safety deposit box number, the box where we have hidden the $100,000. I'll be back later to give you some additional information, which may or may not be helpful. So make sure you watch right to the end of the tape, and good luck.
Cash Hunt's the name. Private detective. My motto, if Cash can't find it, it isn't really lost. I guess that just about sums up my last case. The mystery of the missing link.
Hey, how you doing there? Light wax, Mr. Cash?
Yeah, and check the tires too, would you, Lefty? Started during one of the hottest summers on record. Everyone with any sense had left town, and those of us who'd stayed behind were burning up. It was so hot that in my building, a Norwegian couple on the 4th floor had become Italian. I spent my nights on the streets, staying out till dawn. Once the sun went down, it was cooler out there than in my room. The city was a desert, and we were living like snakes, hiding under rocks all day and lying on the roads at night. And there wasn't anyone I met who wasn't coiled and ready to strike. When I got back to my room that morning, I knew that I was in for some trouble. Something unusual had happened while I was out. I'd had a call. The first in 3 months. If this was a hang-up like the last one, I was prepared to slash my face severely just below the chin. If nothing else, maybe my eyes would clear up.
I don't usually do business with machines, Cash, but this can't wait. There's $100,000 at stake, and I've been told that you're someone who'll put up a good fight, even if it means throwing everything you get away. That's That's exactly the state I'm in. Cash, I'll do anything. Send you my contacts, let you talk to my psychiatrist. Only please help me. Stay where you are. You'll be hearing from me.
You hear that? 100,000 clams. I always did have a taste for seafood. Present company accepted, of course. You want any more, Rocco? Truth was, right about now, anything would have tasted good. I hadn't had a square meal in weeks, but it was too hot to cook and there was a job to do. So I did just what that doll said. Sat tight and waited. I guess it was my lucky day. I'd had a call and someone had repaired the TV.
When was the last time you had a big plate of hot steaming liver? Well, don't let that just be a holiday treat. Come on down to the old Colony House of Liver, where our chef, former medical student Lance Lyle, will tempt you with an array of livers you'll never forget. We have boiled, broiled, baked, and stewed, mashed and hashed and barbecued, toasted, roasted, grilled and steamed, braised, browned, poached, and creamed. Or, for that very special occasion, why not try one of Lance's Belgian liver waffles?
Creamy.
So hurry on over right now. Reservations are never necessary at the old Colony House of Liver.
We'll be waiting. One liver on a stick to go.
I didn't have much to go on, but someone had gone to a lot of trouble to get me to watch that commercial. So I took the lead.
It comes with toast. Or how about a nice thick slice of liver pie a la mode?
I didn't know who or what I was looking for, but it didn't matter. I needed some coffee. My head was pounding like a Southern Baptist preacher on a Sunday. The waitress kept giving me the eye, and when I could get mine focused, I gave her a few good looks, too. Her lips were thick as ketchup, and when she spread them to ask me, do you want anything more, my pants pocket started to turn inside out.
Is there anything else I can get you?
What did you have in mind?
How about a catered affair?
Well, I knew that I shouldn't start anything now, not with this case on my mind. I guess she understood. She just smiled as if to say, maybe next time. The check came to $8.05. As I opened my wallet, I was in for a surprise. There was some money in it. 3 bills and a 1922 postage stamp. I felt like I'd been mugged, in reverse. Anyway, I left it all. It was the exact amount I needed. Nothing left for a tip. As I left, I saw her pick up the money. She didn't look happy. Well, I wasn't either. I hadn't planned on stiffing this girl. At least not like that. It's open. It's open.
Hi. I brought you dinner. You left without it. It comes with toast, white, wheat, or sourdough.
Hey, wait a minute.
What a swell kitchen.
Look, if it's about the tip,
Boy, Lance, you better watch out. I'm gonna turn this place into the best liver joint in town.
she was clearly moving in. Maybe she smelled the dough. $100,000 was a lot of bread, and this girl had toast on the brain. But she wasn't talking. She had Virginia embroidered over her left breast. It wasn't her name. She'd bought the uniform secondhand. And I had a gut feeling that this dress wasn't the only thing Virginia had that had been used before. But that was another story. And certainly not worth $100 grand.
What's that between your legs?
I guess my thoughts were showing.
On the floor?
An envelope. I knew it wasn't the postman. He always rings twice. Four $1 bills, nothing more. Wait a minute. One of them has a circle inked in around the eye. You know the eye on the back? The one over the pyramid? This was a clue. The eye. The eye over the pyramid.
What?
Pyramid under the eye? Circle around the eye.
Huh?
The eye inside the circle? This was gonna take some thought.
I can't wait here all day for you to order. I do have other customers.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Just practicing. Listen, don't be too upset by that buck. It's really quite simple. Just suppose you think of the eye as being your eye. And you are a private eye, right? So what you're looking for, or to be more precise, what you're overlooking is the pyramid. The pyramid? See, you really only have two choices there, you know. Giza and Chichen Itza.
Of course. Giza and Chichen Itza. Why didn't I think of that? I caught myself in one of those awkward, vulnerable positions that I can't stand. Look, don't you have some tables to clear up or something? I've got to go out for a couple of minutes. I need some maps. And don't answer the phone.
Boy, this guy's one tough customer.
Hello?
Oh, one for lunch. Did you have a reservation?
Cut the act, Virginia.
I told you before, that's not my name.
Any calls while I was out?
No, but this came.
How?
It was delivered
When?
while you were out.
Where?
Here.
Who?
A woman. Very attractive, very rich.
What?
She ordered lunch, the special, the liver tempura. She left a tip.
Why? I had to get out of the apartment. The case was at a dead end, and I couldn't concentrate. Not with Virginia around. Well, she was an okay kid, but she had one major flaw. She used her mouth like an elbow, and tonight she'd pushed me too far. Before I'd left, she insisted I see her palm reader. I got to the fortune teller's shop. There was something familiar about the music I heard. Maybe she could read my cards or look at my chart or something and tell me what to do. I must have been nuts. Anyway, she introduced herself.
My name is Irutham from Pakab, Pakistan. May I please examine your palm?
The broad was flirting with me. Nothing heavy, mind you, but she knew what I wanted.
For loose you don't need. You can also check out a repellent couple with influential pull.
I got uncomfortable. It didn't seem natural that a woman should look that long at a private part of my body. How was I to know what she could see on it? I jerked my hand away. The jewel on her forehead glowed like the red light in front of a cheap hotel.
La Maison de Dieu, la Rue de Fortune, Le Mout. Great riches will be yours. Half the answer you seek is close at hand. The other half will come with the fool.
Who's the fool?
Oh, everything is foggy. My ball is full of gas. The number 18 is elementary, my dear. Cash.
Maybe I was the fool. Is there anything about a woman in there?
Yeah, I see a woman.
Well?
She is dark like the night, with a red jewel on her forehead.
Yeah?
You're not getting this, are you?
Yeah, I was getting it. She'd read my palm, and now it was time for me to grease hers. Look, will you take an IOU? She replied with a similar word in Sioux and told me to go near the sleeper sofa department.
Go near the one who puts to sleep. By the drowsy ones.
Or was it by the dry sea?
Close to the dusty faces.
Maybe it was close to some musty places. Wherever it was, I didn't seem to be getting any closer. There were two things standing in my way. I didn't know who I was working for or what I was trying to find. Besides that, this seemed to be a fairly routine case. I headed back to the apartment. A good night's sleep might put everything in order.
$5979 5986. Where the hell have you been?
Oh, we're having a terrible day. She kept going over those things, and I
Keep
kicked
your
her.
voice down. He's still sleeping. Did you bring the bottle?
Oh, here. No more than 2 drops.
Right. Come on. I know. You think you've had problems? Well, go in there and wake him up.
You must rise, wake up, and smell the curry. It is a great day for shopping. Listen to a loved one. Entertain at home this evening.
Oh, Cash. Oh, Cash. Cash, wake up. You have visitors.
Visitors, huh? I'd had visitors in the big house every Saturday for 10 years.
I'd like you to meet Morris Micklewhite and Vera Jane Palmer, Dino Polcchetti, and Maria von Losch. They all arrived sort of unexpectedly. Oh, and Cash, Mr. Micklewhite has a telegram for you. And they'll all be staying for dinner.
Great.
These two didn't know what visitors were. Visitors always left.
Dear Cash, stop. Under no circumstances are you to approach these people for the money. Stop. They're only commoners. Stop. 1009 the Appian Way. Stop. Farewell, my lovely.
Long way to run.
Long way to run. Long way to run.
Where was I?
Funny, that's just what we were wondering.
What the hell are those?
Flags. They arrived while you were taking the big sleep. And she left a little note. You'll find 1 in all of these and 3 in 2 of these, but none will start with A or V.
Catchy little phrase.
6042.
The heat was beginning to get inside our brains. The temperature had reached 120 degrees and was climbing. Virginia had been getting more and more depressed. She hadn't had an order, even a takeout, in over 2 weeks. She'd spent the last 6 days staring out the window through the Venetian blinds. Consequently, she'd developed a very strange set of tan lines. I was trying to figure all this out when a few new things arrived that seemed to cheer her up. An order wheel, a service bell, a generic menu, and a jukebox. But it was the music that did the trick. My apartment was beginning to look like the prop room at Warner Brothers. All that was missing was the Maltese Falcon. It was time to take a hike. Get some fresh air. And in any case, I had an appointment to keep. I hated to be a party pooper, but I figured the way Virginia was breathing, I had about 30 seconds until she'd use up all the oxygen in my room. It was a Rusum who convinced me to move ahead with the case, change my motto to forward, and meet with someone who she felt could get things rolling. He was a traveling man, and I agreed to meet him on his own turf. I was prepared to take any help I could get. I'd been led up so many blind alleys it didn't matter anymore. Trouble was, this time not only was the alley blind, so was he. At least we were on neutral ground. He couldn't see, and I couldn't hear. I wasn't sure if the palmist had her crystal ball screwed on right, but I'd always been a gambler. And this time, it almost paid off.
There's a rumor around the runways that you're getting close to the cash.
He knew me. I didn't recognize him, but he appeared to be a jet pilot. I'd be taking the bus from now on.
No smoking sign has been turned on. Please extinguish all cigarettes.
He was certainly flying this particular day.
Let me introduce myself. Fitzsimmons.
Oh, yeah?
Captain Fitzsimmons to you, Sonny.
I think we'd gotten off on the wrong track.
This is your captain speaking. Please do not panic. We've taken off without any of our instrument needles on board. Today's in-flight movie, The Love Song of Omar Khayyam, will be shown free of charge.
How do you know me?
There's lots of information out there, Cash. You want some, it's going to cost you 20 grand.
So that was it. He wanted a piece of the action. Well, I'm sure you know I'm looking for something. But I don't see how you could be much help.
You're going to have to bring in outsiders sometime, Cash. First, fill your glasses. Then look out the windows to your left. You won't regret it. It's a wonderful view. Engines 3 and 4 are currently on fire.
And with that, he took off down the rails. I'd suddenly found myself caught in a classic case of the blind leading the blind. But what I'd understand later was that the race was on. It hadn't taken my friend the captain very long to make his move. I knew he was in the kitchen. Wherever there were crashes, Fitzsimmons couldn't be far behind.
4 steps to the left, reach over the freight. Was it 4 steps to the right? Where did she say that meter was?
Meter? What do you want the meter for?
Oh, hi, Cash. Couldn't sleep. We were just having some cocoa.
What's he doing?
6103. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
We're losing altitude fast. Release the oxygen masks.
Oh, now you've blown it, Four Eyes.
What did you say?
I said, oh, Four Eyes. You want to make something of it? Huh?
Talk to him like that. You're the one that messed up with the mix.
Something reminded me of the woman's message that first day.
Wait, I'm in control here. I'm your captain.
Tea bags.
Tea leaves warn of animal sacrifice. ASPCA, death to the Museum of the Fur Trade.
All right. All right. I get the point. Now, unless you want your friend here to have that piece of paste permanently planted to her forehead, one of you better pick up the phone and dial a psychiatrist.
I'll dial it.
No, Virginia, sweetheart, could you dial for me? Dial.
Cash, it's for you.
You have reached dial-a-shrink. Dr. Yam Wing is out at the moment, but he has left you a special message.
Cash, your problem is definitely not centered in the undifferentiated source of the organism's energy, from which both ego and libido are derived. You've come very near to the end. Your 3 friends are still holding out on you, though. Confucius say, when all else fails, why not play cards?
Exactly. Why did I always look on the dark side of things? There were 4 of us now. Enough for a good game of bridge. I think it's time we all lay our cards on the table.
What are we doing?
It was the second game in the second rubber. South was vulnerable, and it was West's deal. I've been having a hard time controlling my temper.
Wait a minute, I just think I gave you 2 cards. How many do you have?
I got 6, see?
I'd drawn Fitzsimmons for a partner, and we'd lost the first rubber when he mistook the clubs he was holding for hearts. Then during the second deal, the palm reader fled the table screaming something about the Queen of Cups.
I have 8.
Well, then give one of yours to her. We should both have 7 now. Now I got an extra card. See, I started with you. It's just...
On top of all this, every time she lost a trick, Virginia thought she had to remove a piece of clothing.
Well, if you can stop being such a poor sport, Cash, we're all ready to order. Bid.
So what's stopping you?
Well, okay. Let's see now. I can go a number of ways here. Oh, but these are the prettiest. I bid 1 heart.
I felt less discouraged about my partner.
There aren't any green cards in this deck, are there?
I'd spoken too soon.
No. This must be red. I'll have to say 2 hearts.
I tried to figure out what suit he was really holding.
I need a drink.
Coffee, tea, or...
Gin.
Oh, I just had one. I was
This is a bridge game. Pick up your cards and bid, for Christ's sake. The term blind drunk was about to take on a new meaning.
There ain't no trump.
Pass.
Let me see. 4. Yes, I'm sure of that part. 4
What?
hearts.
Half.
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 That makes Cash the dummy.
Les mout.
I didn't like the tone of that remark.
You will travel to a distant city. Connect all the points and look into the eye of the pyramid. Move to the nearest country to the west.
Oh, yeah? What's that supposed to mean? Daylight? Popcorn? Rosebud. If the doctor had been telling the truth, each of my roommates still had a piece of the puzzle. I'd been bowling a perfect score up to this point, and now I was in the final frame. I checked my grip, took my stance, and threw.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're not going to do anything until all of us has an equal chance of winning. So why don't you let me in on each of your secrets? Well, what's it gonna be?
Torah.
Torah?
Torah. The bastards.
9 hits and a spare. I was 1 short. But if I'd been figuring right, I had the missing link. But the case was far from over. I've always lived by a code, Lefty. Kind of a personal philosophy. You get what you pay for. And if you don't get it, you pay for it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Cash.
Well, this dame lived by a different code. And I couldn't crack it. She made this case impossible for me. You see, to get at the money, you had to know what the safety deposit box number was. And none of us, Virginia, Gruesome, Fitzsimmons, nobody knew what it was. Oh, I kept going over the clues, but finally I gave up. Virginia said, forget about it, Cash. There'll be other cases. Maybe she was right.
I was hoping for another fight, Mr. Cash. I threw a lot away, you know. Just like you. Put them out of my mind. And then thinking back on it, I realized that the ones I lost were twice as important. That was where the money was, Cash.
Yeah. Catch you later, Lefty.
And there you are. By now, you should have a region, a city, and the number of our safety deposit box. But I doubt that you will have got the answer the first time through. If you have, You will also need a telephone number to let us know that you've solved it. And hiding that number has been my task. So, why not play armchair detective? Sit back and go through the tape again and again. By the way, I should tell you that our phone number is available and open now and will remain open through midnight Eastern Standard Time, September the 11th, 1984. We will announce who has solved Money Hunt the following day. And of course, it could be you. I do urge you to consult the rules, which will be coming up in a moment, along with a list of books which we found useful in creating this puzzle. You'll also find the rules on your cassette box. Well, I've struggled with it myself, and I won't pretend it's easy, but it is fun, so enjoy yourself. And good luck.